So in this new packet, there's a couple ideas that we're going to need to develop, and the first one is a list. So Python's really good with lists. It's one of its strengths. And I just created a sample list right here. And the way you do it is you put whatever you want inside your list, inside these brackets. Put the single quotes around them and separate them by a comma. So if you look there, there's 4 list items, right? And I'm just going to write a simple function that's going to print and this is how I want to print the third item in my list. This is where some things get a little bit counterintuitive. So I'm just going to save this real quick. So if I'm printing list item number 3, if you had to take a guess which of those 3 list item number 3 is, take it now and let's see if you're right. So list is the third item, and that's kind of weird. The key to that is the way that lists start counting themselves is they start at 0. So this is list item 0. So I'm just going to run this, and if I print out list item 0, that's the one. All right, cool. So let's use this then. I'm going to just create a simple shopping list. And so first off, I'm just going to have my list start as blank. And so this says, create a list. Let's just have it blank right now. And basically what I want to do is I want to make a loop that lets me add the item. Next I want to have I want to append that item to the list. So append means add that item to the list. I'm going to want to have a print to let and then finally I'm going to want to print the full list. So I want a loop that adds this, and inside the loop, I guess I want these 2 things to happen, right? So inside the loop, I want those 2 things to happen, and then once it's broken, I want that to happen. It's a pretty good idea to, as these problems get more difficult, sketch out what you want to have happen with the comments, and then that way when you're going through them, you can say like, okay, this is the step where it's going wrong. It's really helpful. Okay, so I'm going to create my loop. So I'm going to use a while loop. While true. And I need to create just an item, and the item is going to be the input to this question. What would you store? Okay. So we've done that move. We've done that move a couple times. Now what we want is if that item, so we need a way to stop the loop, right? So I'm going to say is if they add this, if they say I'm done, right, then I want to break. Otherwise, what I want to happen is I want to have my list, and then this is a new thing, right? This is that append. I want it to append that item. So this means for the list, my list, add whatever item is, and I define item as the answer to this question. So my list, as it goes through, will be 1 item, 2 item, 3 item, 4 item, like that. Now I want to let the user know that they've added an item. So I'm going to print this off. I'm going to say, sweet. Now we so Python is really sweet at lists, like I said, and think about this problem, like how does it know how long the list item is? Because the first time this prints, it'll be 1 item at the store, 2 items at the store, 3, and the more times, and we want that just to kind of go on forever. So there's a way to tell for Python to sense the size of the list, and it's like this. So you do format, and what I want is to print out, so I only have one of these things, and I want it to be the length of my list. And I have 1, 2, 3 left parentheses, so 1, 2, 3 on the right. And that should display that all out. Now I want to print off the entire list. Now notice I dedented my thing. This is all the while loop, right? And I've got a way to get out of it with a break. Now I'm going to print it off. And this is a different kind of way of looping things. Watch this. So I'm going to say for thing in my list. We are going to print thing. All right, so let's see how it runs. Ooh, right off the bat, we got some issues there. So the error I made, of course, if you have an if, then you have to have the little colon right there. So let's run this thing and see how it goes. And then I'll kind of talk about this for a little bit. So I'm going to run this, and what do you need at the store? Let's say I want a banana. And awesome, it went through the loop and went through and said one item at the store. So our loop looks like it's working pretty good. Let's say I want milkshake, 2% milk. Okay, so it looks like it's working pretty good. Let's hope our break works here. So I'm going to try done. Okay, and it prints back our list. So one of the things that you can add is, you saw that when we were running that, it's kind of like jarbled the text together. Maybe you want to have, like, when we inputted it here, because I was typing right next to store, maybe like a colon, like a space, or you can do like one of those to let the user know. Anyway, just however you want to design it, right? Just because it was kind of scrunched together on this. Okay, so this is a kind of interesting little loop thing here. It's a new kind of way of looping, and basically it takes my list, which is the thing I'm dealing with, and this is called a local variable, and I just said thing. I could say for all the pickles in my list, right? And I could run that, and it would, see, now we have our new milk, candy, and done, right? So it doesn't matter what I say right here for that first thing. Basically, it needs to have something to refer to every single list item as. And so it says, okay, all those things are pickles. Great, I'm going to print off all the pickles. I could say that they're anything for all A in my list. A, right? So it doesn't really matter. The key thing is that I'm talking about my list. And it's going to go through every single one of those items and print that off. Cool, and that's how you append and use this length thing is going to be a key one in this chapter, and then also the for in loop.